So if you're playing Black Ops 7 Zombies right now, and you not only want to know how to rank up really fast, get a ton of XP in a very quick manner, and also a very easy strategy for getting headshots for gold guns. You can get these in a single game in pretty much under 30 minutes, and I'm going to show you a couple of different methods just in case any one of these gets patched by Treyarch in the coming days. Hopefully some of these other methods will still be available to you, but I'm going to show you a couple of methods for just getting a ton of XP very quickly, and I'm also going to show you other methods for getting headshots and getting gold guns in a single game. So if this helps and you want to see more Black Ops 7 Zombies, just subscribe to the channel. That's it, but let's get into this. All right, so real quick, the first strategy is going to be the easiest one and also the one that I believe will probably get patched the fastest. So if you're playing Van Dorn Farm Survival, obviously you don't have a ton of space to work with, and if you're looking for an easy way to almost AFK farm, it's not quite AFK, it still requires you to actually shoot your weapon and to kind of pay attention to some degree. The best strategy for getting headshots, I think, can be found up here in the house. Now, if you go just past the Wonder Fizz machine, you can see the edge of this house that lets off to the bottom of the ground, but if you stand on the very corner here, all of the zombies will actually start spawning in front of you and specifically from underneath to where they have to jump up to the balcony. Now, the cool thing is here that you can have the Rampage Inducer still on, because even though the Rampage Inducer will heavily increase their ground speed, this does not change their animation speeds for jumping at all, meaning they're just going to jump into your line of sight, and you can quite literally just leave your crosshairs right here and rack up tons of headshots per game, and it's super simple. The only drawback is that the Zersa Bear can still get you from this position, so can the Labubus, and also all of your scrap will drop beneath you, which you'll need to pick up occasionally. But this is a very easy strategy to where you don't have to do almost anything, and you can get a ton of headshots in a single match with very little effort, to be honest. And this is also a decent way to farm XP as well, but there's a slightly faster one I'm going to show you in a little bit. But first, I'm going to show you the other method for getting gold guns, and this is actually on Ashes of the Damned instead. So if for some reason you don't want to play Farm Survival, you find it a little bit boring, or you just want to do some other stuff while you're playing Ashes, this is also a very effective way to grind different weapon camos. Now, I would recommend that you definitely set up at this point, and setting up means I recommend you get all of your perks, or at least most of them. You should also have a fully upgraded legendary rarity weapon, or maybe even a purple weapon will do just fine, but you need some firepower if you're going to stay here for a long time. And I also would recommend, absolutely, of course, making the truck and having access to Pack-a-Punch, and then bringing it over here to the cabins. So if you have access to all these things, if you use like a Perkaholic or something, for example, this is excellent. Or if you have a hidden power, you can get set up pretty much right away, but you do need access to the Pack-a-Punch machine, of course, so just pull the truck up if you're going to be here for any significant period of time. But when you get here to the cabins, what you can do is jump up on this hay bale that's on the corner of the rooftop, and these zombies, again, just like the last strategy, should only pile at you from one direction, and you can actually just stand here from the top and aim down and get just free headshots on essentially anything. But that's really easy, and it works like a charm. But do you know what the coolest part about this strategy is? And I only figured this out like right when I started playing it and trying this out, is that the Zersa Bears, if you're backed up all the way into this corner, if you're in the right position, the bears should try to attack you from inside the cabin. Now, this can be a problem because they can spawn the beehives, which will deal tick damage to you, but you can actually kill and damage these from outside the house. As their, hitbox kind of peeks out of the wall here, they won't really be able to swipe at you to deal like tons of damage, but you can hit them from here. So it's a very, safe way to deal with elite enemies as well. Sometimes you might have to fight them on the ground, and you can kind of just quickly disengage from this position to take them out in the normal field, and then go right back to this hay bale and just get free headshots. Once again, as long as they don't patch the boss strategy, I can see this being pretty intact. I don't really know how they'll change this too much. I think this has slightly less probability being patched than the prior strategy, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. I recommend taking advantage of this very easy one right now while we can, because it's excellent and it's a lot of fun. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you is a very easy way to grind specifically XP, and if you want to make a lot of progress on your augments. Because just in case you hadn't noticed, if you've played Black Ops 6, you have all of your augments carrying forward from that game, but Black Ops 7 introduces a new half of that track, and at the very end of that introduces an ability to add a second minor augment. So technically, for everything in the game, once you complete them, you can have 3 augments per feature, which is really excellent, but it takes a little while to unlock this, and especially as you get to this last one, it really starts to drag, and it definitely feels like the augment research it takes a lot longer than it did in Black Ops 6, but there's a very effective way that I found to grind XP where you can basically push to round 36 on farm survival in under half an hour. So you could repeat this twice in a single hour and make an unbelievable amount of progress on your augments, and also just getting XP if you're aiming to prestige. So this one requires a little bit of more meticulous setup, and what I'm going to recommend is the full auto shotgun that you can find. This is the last one unlocked, and it's probably my favorite gun in the game right now. I mean, maybe that'll change, but it is amazing. Definitely make sure you bring this in, and if you have the gobblegums to spare, I would recommend them too. Hidden Power and Perkaholic are going to make this way easier, but the field upgrade that I would absolutely advise is Toxic Growth. This is actually coming back from Cold War, and I think Modern Warfare Zombies, I don't remember if it was in there or not. I should mention, you can definitely do this strategy without gobblegums. It might just take a slightly bit longer and be a little bit more challenging, but gobblegum or no gums, you can run this, and as long as you have Toxic Growth in the shotgun, you should be just fine. You're going to go to the back of the room here, up in the farm, where the Pack-a-Punch machine is located if you're playing farm survival, and from here, Toxic Growth, you can actually spawn 2 of these vine bushes at once, or you can have at least 2 of them active, and even if they have no augments, what these are going to do is slightly slow down the zombies approaching you and really take away their HP, softening them up, making them nice and squishy by the time they get to you, so that you can just absolutely annihilate them by the time they break the line. The really nice part about this is the shotgun, especially if you have Napalm Burst on it, you can eliminate Xursas. These bears will not even be able to get up on the upper floor if you're doing this strategy correctly, and if they somehow happen to do, it's pretty easy just to disengage and run off the middle, and then, go back outside and just kind of reset that situation. It's actually a very safe strategy, even if it doesn't really feel like it, and it's incredibly fast. You can speed this up with Molotovs and throwing those inside the barrier to your left. You can throw them on the panel in front of you as well. There's a lot of ways just to eliminate zombies really quickly, but Toxic Growth is absolutely crucial for having these bushes out that will soften the zombies up and slow them down when they get to you. But they also basically give you an invincible barrier to the Labubus. These become pretty much a non-issue by the time the special round starts. As long as you have 1 Toxic Growth active, you can just stand in the middle and they literally cannot hurt you. So it's pretty amazing, but you can run this strategy. It does get a little bit dicey in the later rounds, but you can pretty much effectively run this to about 35, 36, and by that point, I would recommend you take the exfil, because the XP gains that you're going to receive for the amount of time spent really starts to diminish after this point. So if you want to just maximize XP, research augments, and all that, I would recommend doing this and then resetting after round 36, because you'll just get more bang for your buck. I strongly doubt this strategy will ever get patched, because it's not really an exploit. This is just a effective strategy that utilizes some of the field upgrades and positioning that the map has to offer. I would say this is probably the safest one, so if you're just looking for XP, I would definitely recommend doing this if you want to rank up fast, prestige, and get your augments research, which God knows I'm doing that right now. But anyways, hope this helped. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.